I was playing 2 nights ago in Dallas, and after the show, somebody came up and they handed me a beer. And to them, that is a sign of, hey man, that was a great show. I've never heard you before. That was really awesome, you know, or I'm a big fan, here's a drink. Most people can drink, you know, socially responsible, but there are those few of us that can't.
Austin's drinking culture takes center stage during South by Southwest. A seemingly endless supply of alcohol is a fixture during the festival as musicians navigate the crowds and the chaos to perform for fans.
From basically the beginning of my South by to the end of my South by is sort of the perfect thing to show the drinking culture. People are handing you, hey, do you want a beer? Do you want this? Da-da-da-da.
Jeff Plankenhorn has played the Austin music scene for close to 2 decades.
I had always been able to keep a grueling schedule, and I liked it. Playing with this band and playing with this band and writing with this person and producing this person was always feeding each other, and I loved it. But, you know, the substances and the drinking, they got in the way of that eventually. And that's what happens. And I found out through, you know, wrecked relationships, family problems, and problems with my career that it was time. And I was really lucky to find out before I had done irreparable damage.
Have no other rock god before Chuck Berry. That one works for me.
When my time, you know, came and I said, okay, enough. I have to do this, you know. I had a lot of people going, okay, you know, and I had a lot of people going, well, we were wondering when you were going to show up.
Good afternoon, Sims Foundation. This is Maria. How can I help you?
In Austin, we have the Sims Foundation. They provide mental health and recovery services to Austin musicians.
Hey, this is Brad at the Sims Foundation, and I just wondered how you were doing and how you were feeling.
They're the kind of organization that you can call up, and if you know somebody is having a hard time navigating through this drinking culture that is pervasive, they would be able to help you very easily.
We created Sims Foundation after Sims Ellison took his own life. He was suffering from a deep depression, and when he took his own life, there was a outcry from the community that there needs to be affordable support services for the music community.
Last year alone, more than 5,000 people in the Austin music industry reached out to Sims for help. Director Heather Alden says while musicians aren't more likely than others to struggle with addiction, their passion puts them in the line of fire.
I think proximity to alcohol and drugs is a big part of it. It's you know, being on tour away from your support system, questions of where your next paycheck is going to come from. You're trying to put out your art at the same time trying to make a living in a city that has become extremely unaffordable for musicians and music industry professionals.
The recent Austin Music Census highlights that financial strain. It shows a third of local musicians earn less than $15,000 a year, and 75% earn below the average local wage. A high-stress job is a risk factor for addiction.
I think some people think, oh, well, a musician just shows up, gets up on stage and plays for 45 minutes or an hour and they go away. And that's not at all what happens for a musician. First of all, you know, there's all the practice, all the front time they put into it, not only just for their craft, but also on the business side. So they're juggling a lot of pressures. You know, there's low pay. It's a very physically and mentally and emotionally grueling occupation.
Fortunately, this city has a unique setup to help folks in the music world with both mental and physical health challenges. Several nonprofits work together to meet those needs.
Sims was created. Years later, Ham was created, and now there's Austin Music Foundation, Black Fret, and we all work together to create this sort of support ecosystem for musicians.
There are other cities that do other things, but they're not really as comprehensive as what we do.
It's not always easy staying on the straight and narrow in the music world.
Thanks for having us. I'm Jeff Plankenhorn. Thanks to Abby, thanks to Threadgills. Been playing here for 17 years, if you can believe that. Thank you folks for being here, and really appreciate it.
Plankenhorn is proud he's on his 5th year of sobriety.
It's constantly being kind of pushed at you as this is a reward for what you're doing. At first, I had to be like, oh, no, but I don't want to offend that person. A lot of times they do really get offended. What do you mean you're not going to take the drink? So, I mean, the temptation's 100% there. You're in bars, you know? But there's a lot of really great things out there. You can't go to a bar in Austin and not find somebody who's in, you know, recovery, and they've learned how to do it, and you can learn how to do it.
The good times have begun.
At times I feel really thankful for that, and at times I feel really guilty because there are people that are not in the music business or not in the arts that don't have those kind of resources necessarily available to them like I did. And so hopefully by saying there's stuff out there, maybe I'm able to point somebody else in that direction.
And even the blind man can tell when he's walking in the sea. Thank you very much.